Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Good morning and happy Wednesday. Oh, I wonder if it's going to kick me off. 1 second. Let me get these closed. Okay. So, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Kind of an intriguing title, which I did that on purpose. I'm sick of spirituality. I'm sick of spirituality. So, we're going to talk through that. I want to chat with you about spirituality. I want to chat with you about being sick and being sick of spirituality, which is really interesting. And I'm going to go into, I'm not ignoring you, I'm just pulling up my phone. I'm not at home. I'm in solitude retreat today. So I don't have my own setup. So I'm just going to pull up my phone so I can pull up the live video that I'm doing so that I can see your comments, because I know there's a comment there and I cannot see it yet. So, Celie, good morning. Good morning. So I found the comments. Yay. So this is wonderful. I can see them here. So I said the title on purpose. I'm sick of spirituality. I wrote that on purpose in hopes to, marketing 101, use a line that catches their attention, right? I'm sick of spirituality. So what does this mean? I am sick. I have a head cold. And my husband, so I'm just going to cut right to the chase, and then we can chat through it. So I'm sick of spirituality. Here's where I'm going with this. I have been in this arena, personal development, self-help. Celie, you and I have been in this arena for a long time, coming up on 13 years. 13 years, isn't that crazy? Celie, how long has it been for you? Is it similar? Would you say in this arena of spirituality, personal development, self-help? So for me, it's coming up on 13 years. And not only for myself, but of course supporting other people. And it is intertwined in everything I do. And what I mean by that is, for me, a few different things. For me, as soon as I started on this path, one of the things that became very, very clear is that we are all doing the best we can all of the time. And that really irritated me at first, because I saw how people were acting and I saw their actions, and it did not mesh for me how it was possible that someone could have those actions and we can tie to those actions that they are doing the best that they can. I just couldn't wrap my head around that. Like, you're not doing the best you can if you are doing XYZ. And I knew at the time, well, I can see clearly now, right? Wayne Dyer used to always say, I can see clearly now with this beautiful 2020 vision, that I was still in a lot of judgment during that time, because whether we like it or not, people are always doing the best they can with what they know, with what they believe, with what their experiences are. And we could set this aside for a giant conversation in and of itself, because it's easy to look around and wonder, gosh, are they really doing the best they can? And we need to come back to the space of, they're not living the life that I'm living. They're not. There was a time and a place when I firmly believed, and part of it was who was I with, part of it was honoring my ex-husband and our relationship and what he believed. But there was a time and a place. Let's even take a bigger example, and this one just, I I I know that I was doing the best I could at the time, given the beliefs and experiences that I was having. But there was a time and a place for many, many years that I firmly believed against people of a different religion, firmly believed that people were going to hell if they had something different than I did. And I was so anti-gay. that I was probably cruel to people without realizing it. And I would have to argue to say that at the time I was doing the best I could. With what I knew, I did the best that I could at that time. And as I know better, I do better. And that's one of my tenets. So getting back to where all that came from, that's one of my tenets on this journey of spirituality, is that I'm always doing the best that I can. And when I know better, I'll do better. And that is my view for others as well, is that they are always doing the best they can all the time. So with that lens on spirituality, when we know better, we do better. We're always doing the best we can all the time. That is one of my views, one of my lenses of spirituality. I also have this lens of spirituality and personal development, that there's always something for me to gain. There's always something for me to learn from this. There's always something for me to take from this experience. That's been a big one for me recently. Well, for years, but also very recently as well, is that there's always something in this for me, right? So the title, I'm Sick of Spirituality. Last Tuesday, my husband came home, and he had been at work with a couple of people that were sick. Not with the thing that we're not talking about here, but they had a head cold, and he wasn't given that information. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he came home, and the next morning he woke up incredibly sick with a terrible head cold, and all congested up in the sinuses and everything else. And I stayed away. I didn't stay away from him, but I went 5 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I was fine, feeling phenomenal. Life was grand, etc., etc. Sunday morning, I woke up, and I was all up in it. All up in that head cold, and I've been up in it the last 3 days, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I was sleeping between probably 16 and 20 hours a day, just up in that head cold, with nothing, like no real ability, energy, focus, nothing, like no energy to do anything else. Now I'm sharing this for a number of reasons. I posted on my personal page that I did this brave thing in telling my truth, that I had been putting off getting my name changed at the bank for years, like 9 years, 10 years. I hadn't changed my name at the bank for like 9 years. And I had that appointment scheduled for Monday, like 2 days ago, Monday. And I was looking forward to it, getting it done, getting it out of the way, and letting that piece be behind me, even though it was like this balled up energy of tightness around actually setting up the appointment. So Sunday, I wake up, and I'm sick, head cold, not doing so well, slept a lot of downtime. And what comes up immediately for me, because of this lens of spirituality, is that I am sabotaging my appointment for tomorrow, that I'm not wanting to go there, that unconsciously there's something deeper going on, and I'm really not ready to move forward, and I still have a lesson to learn, and all of these things come in, that if we've been in spirituality or personal development or self-help, we know that we're supposed to question things. We know that we're supposed to look at the triggers. We know that we're supposed to look at the experiences that are coming up against us. Look at what's happening so that we can move through it, so that we can learn something, so that we can move around it. And that's what I started doing, is, well, why did this sickness come up for you, Jen? What's really going on here? What's the deeper meaning behind this? And I sat with that for a moment and bless the work that I've done. I was able to step back and go, wait a minute. It has nothing to do with there being deeper work. Not this time. I've had those times when I've had to question. I've had those times when it's been something bigger. I've had those times where the sickness or whatever it is, fill in the blank, comes in and it's an opportunity for me to look deeper. And what came very clearly to me in that moment of questioning was that it wasn't one of those times. That instead what it was an opportunity for me to not attach spirituality to something. For me to not attach a lesson to it, and by not attaching a personal development, self-help, spirituality lesson to it, I automatically get a lesson from it. In that, what if it's just a head cold? What if it's just my husband had a head cold and I was in proximity, also sleeping in the same bed, and I got sick from his head cold? Can't it just be as simple as that? Can't that be enough? Can't that be enough of a definition? Or does it always have to be something bigger? Does it always have to be, there's a trigger in this, there's something in this, there's a lesson in this, there's an opportunity in this? Or can't it just be that, you know what, I am a human being, and for the last 2 years, many of us haven't seen people or spent time with people the way that we always have. And so as he started getting back around and connecting with people, he picked up something, he brought it home, and I picked it up. And it can be as simple as that. So spirituality, personal development, self-help is a beautiful gift. It's one that gives us the opportunity to ask questions, to go within, to look deeper, to dig deeper. It's really beautiful in that. And I love that about it. And I will continue checking in as often as possible. And also, it's okay to step back and say, wait, not this time. Not this time. If there's something here for me, then show me. No, not this time. And in that, can you see where it still is a lesson, an opportunity, a recognition? And you know what was really beautiful? So Monday morning came around, and I was supposed to have my appointment at 10 a.m. on Monday with the bank. And I was sleeping, and I heard my husband on his 9:45 call, and it roused me awake, and I asked, like, what time is it? And he said, it's 9:45. And I knew I had my appointment at 10, which obviously I wasn't going to make, but I wanted to be respectful and call them. Previous Jen would have been so caught up in embarrassment, shame, guilt, fear wrapped around not showing up for something I said I was going to show up to, not following through. Here I go again. I didn't get it changed again. And here's another excuse. And are they going to believe me? Fill in the blank. But this Jen that recognized, you've done the work, kiddo. You've done the work. It's okay. I called and I shared with the gentleman that I had a pretty nasty head cold, and I felt more respectful to stay home. Could we please reschedule? And he was super kind and gracious and actually thanked me. So, spirituality can suck sometimes because it's easy to get wrapped up in what we're not doing, what we're not looking at. And also, I want us to remember that we're human, that we have real emotions and real experiences, and things happen to us. And sometimes it's okay to not You don't have to explain it. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to always look at the trigger. What if it just hurts? Maybe there doesn't need to be a lesson in the thing that came forward. And maybe that's lesson enough, reminding yourself that I'm still a human. I'm still a human, and that's part of my experience. So, I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know if you found yourself getting caught ever in this trap of spirituality, and it's a really beautiful gift. And are there times when it can become so encompassing that we don't just allow ourselves to let it go and say, hey, maybe it is just a head cold and it's okay. Maybe it is just a feeling you're having and that's okay. Maybe it is part of the human experience and that's okay. We don't always have to figure it out. So, happy Wednesday to you. I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll talk soon. Take care.